Okay, let's talk about this. Question: are sexy female character designs offensive to you? No. No.
No.
No, they don't. They do not.
Sexy. That's it.
They do not offend me at all.
That's the objective.
That's
just
it. Ever since the reveal of Project Eve, I've seen several takes decrying female leads with sexy body types or wearing outfits that show it off. Yeah, those takes are dumb. Curious on how you feel about them, good or bad. I don't see this. I don't think of this as a good thing or a bad thing.
Sexy.
It's just a thing that happens. It's just people's aesthetic, right? It's nothing particularly super impressive or super amazing, right? Her design is okay. It's not to my liking, right? It's not to my liking, but it's not because she has like thick ass and abs. She designs sexily, right? It's just because, well, she's just a typical sexy girl. I've seen her a million times, right? I've seen this character design like a million times, and that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? If you're gonna design the character, it's fine, right? Maybe somebody might find the character design look good. Okay, that's your opinion, subjective opinion. But personally speaking, she looks just like your typical sexy character that I've seen a million times already. And if you got distracted by her, that says a lot more about you than it is about the developers.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. It should be the childlike,
bro. It should be the gameplay.
The childlike proportions.
Okay, this is just dumb.
Okay. Excuse me. At which point have you seen like this character over here and you consider that childlike? I'm just.
I fail to recognize the correlation.
That's not childlike proportions.
If you think it that way, if you see it as like proportions, we should be more suspicious of you.
Yeah, if that's how you think of it, it tells a lot more about you than it is about the game developers.
The game or the character itself.
People aren't just mad because she's sexy. The character design is just ugly. I'm playing Voss. I'm playing Voss.
That's a subjective, philosophical point of fucking view.
Nobody really complains about a character like Bayonetta because her design is good. This character is just bland. Again,
that's a subjective, philosophical point of fucking view.
Okay, again, that's the subjective philosophical point of fucking view. Bayonetta knew she was hot. Okay. She was written and wanting to be perceived that way, and I, 12 out of 10 respect that. It wasn't just tackled on as an objectification. It was a whole personality quirk and it fit well. Project Eve is just a feminine entity being literally objectified in every way. Nothing wrong with either. Nothing wrong with either. You have not established in how it's...
You never explain... Yeah, wrong. You never explain how it's wrong.
You never explain how it's wrong.
It's a difference. There's a difference, yes. If you compare one to the other, there is a difference. But you never said which one is wrong.
And
which one is wrong for what reason?
And if we're gonna talk about Bayonetta, right? If we're gonna put it in the context of Bayonetta, I think Yasi said this best, right? Yasi said this best. Just because she's meant to be ironically sexy does not mean that people won't jack off to her. At the end of the day, people are gonna jack off to both. As long as it looks sexy, doesn't matter if it's ironically sexy. I mean, Juliet, what's the name character? Juliet Sterling, is that her name? The character from Lollipop Chainsaw, the cheerleader from Lollipop Chainsaw, she got cosplayed a lot. Even though Lollipop Chainsaw, not much of a game, because her design is good, right? Her design looks pretty freaking amazing, right? Her design is pretty freaking iconic for the typical, for the game, right? It's eye-catching. And she is designed to be like, quote unquote, I guess suppose ironic, because the whole game is like ironically sexy, right? And yeah, it doesn't matter because people are gonna jerk off to her. That doesn't... Anyway, in the case of those picks, bad in my opinion, and not even just politically, I'd be simply embarrassed to play such a game and be like, oh yeah, I love that game that so desperately wants for me to have a boner at every instance of my playing. It's cloying, I don't know. Okay? That's your subjective...
Voss.
That's Voss.
That's a subjective, philosophical point of fucking view.
There you go. Seriously. Oh my god! You have to start off with the, you have to start with the inhale. You have to start with the inhale. The inhale. I need to put the inhale guy. Do you know the guy?
Inhale guy.
The
guy who has asthma. Asthma.
This I need to put this. I need to play this. There you go.
Why is he so fucking pissed? I wanna know.
I don't know, man. I just need this for the sound effects clip. Adding that on the library. Seriously, just inhale. Okay, that is you inhaling. It's not the character that's the problem. It is the attitude by game designers and developers that are the issue.
Why is that an issue? Oh my god.
It's not the character that's the problem. It's the attitude by game designer and developers that are the issue. It doesn't matter if the characters are quote-unquote designed because they love their sexuality. People are still gonna jerk off to them. Doesn't freaking matter. The end result is still the same.
Why is the attitude of some fucking prick of a game designer or developer in some fucking country bothers you that much? Why is the attitude of that fucking prick bothers you to the point where you're like, yeah, it's not the character, it's the attitude of the game designers. Dude, get a life. Come on.
Realize that making overly sexual character designs can impact sales by alienating a large portion of gamers. Yeah, because Nier Automata didn't sell very well. Right?
Yes.
Because Nier Automata sold very poorly. Right? Because Nier Automata did not sell. It did not sell like freaking hotcakes, right? Amazing.
And Nier Automata got some hotcakes, man. Like, he really do got some hotcakes.
Seriously. Wow. Oh my lord. Sexually charged designs can have a place and time. For example, erotic games. But if you're making an action game, then the design is up for critique. No.
No.
Not necessarily. It doesn't have to.
Everything should be up for critique.
Everything should be up for critique, but it depends on the
no matter
critic.
the fucking circumstances.
If it depends on the critic themselves, right? Everything on the game is up for criticism. What you critique tells a lot more about you than it is about the game. Yeah. If you critique that, if you're critiquing that, you're bothered with it. You're really, really bothered with it. That tells a lot more about you than it is about the game. And I'm not bothered by this. I've seen the character design like this a million freaking times. Excuse me. Korea loves to design characters like this, right? This is Korean design game. And Black Desert Online, like seriously, Black Desert Online, if you played Black Desert Online, you've seen a character design like this like a million freaking times. I don't play Black Desert Online, but I've seen characters like that, design like that. Are the other characters sexy? Are you making a sexy character for the sake of sexy? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
No one has explained why that is wrong.
Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing freaking wrong with that. Are you overcompensating for the gameplay by just having a sexy character in hopes it would help sales? Also, consider the impact of constantly pushing certain body types and images for an already marginalized group. Okay. Here's a message to all the fat women, right? To the obese and fat women out there. If you feel very insecure because the media portrays women who are sexy a lot of times, that says a lot more about you than it is about the media.
Yeah.
I am just saying. I'm just sorry. I'm being a dick here, but I'm just saying. I hate the fact that we have to neuter media, neuter a lot of things that are sexy just because fat women don't like it. Just because some people speak for fat women and these insecure fat women think that just because these people in the media, they are sexy. Oh, these people are sexy. Therefore, these people are sexy. Why can't I be sexy? Why can't I feel sexy? Oh, my Lord. Jesus Christ.
And it's the world's fault, man. It's the world.
Yeah, it's the world.
It's everyone's fault.
Yeah, you know what? I'm playing that. I am so much playing that.
I gotta blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault. Fuck that.
You know what? I'm gonna take that clip. I'm gonna open Vegas real quick, right? I'm gonna open Vegas real quick, and I'm gonna do something super freaking, super freaking petty, but really funny nonetheless, right? I'm gonna grab that clip, and I'm going to add a video effect on it. The video effect that I'm going to add is, where is the sphere? The sphere. Aha. Aha. Gotcha. There you go. There you go. Now it makes sense.
Somebody, otherwise... Gotta blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault. Fuck that.
Fuck that. That indeed.
Now that makes sense. Anyway, where was I? Are you compensating for the gameplay just by having a sexy character? Are you compensating for the gameplay by just having a sexy character in hopes it would help sales? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, here's the thing about compensating. Like, if you think that the gameplay is lacking to the point where the developers have to use sexy characters to sell, like to improve sale, right? Even if that is true, even if like for 100% that is intentional, right? Let's say that it is. Even if that is true, and if the end product's gameplay is trash, people will still criticize it. Like, people will still criticize it. They will still get the bad end of the stick. They will still get criticized for having bad gameplay.
Yeah. Anyway, Angel threatened to $1. That chin, though. Thank you so much for the donation. Keep them coming. Ladies and gentlemen, $43 more before we get to 69. Come on, $43. Come on, y'all. Any contribution will be super, super appreciated. To quote Dante, to quote freaking Dante. I'm just saying. Where's my Dante? Where is my Dante clip? Where's my Dante clip?
Cash up front. This I like.
Dante is a simple man. He likes cash up front, right? Straight up. This I like. Oh man. All this to say, I don't mind sexy. You clearly do. You clearly do.
You clearly do.
You clearly do. You clearly.
You mind enough that you're bothered.
You clearly do. But a lot of times it feels exclusive. No, it doesn't.
You just feel this exclusive.
You just feel that you feel excluded because you don't want the characters to look like you. And not that all games need to be inclusive to everybody. I don't want all games to be inclusive to everybody. Games should be designed specifically for the types of people who like those types of games, right? It's only up to the developers if they want to have a much wider audience or if they want to have much more people to play the game. Hey, that's up to them at the end of the day. But if somebody makes a hard game, the developers say, I want to make a hard game and I want people to like hard games, to play my hard games, then those people are the only people who are going to play the games are the people who play hard games. If they don't like it, then they're not going to play it. Plain and simple. Straight up. It reeks of the earlier days of gaming where it was aimed towards white heterosexual men. I don't feel that.
What?
No, I'm just.
What?
What
do you mean by the earlier days of gaming? The earlier days of gaming, games were intended for children.
Doesn't matter if the child is like white, black, or Hispanic, or Asian, whatever, right? It doesn't matter if the child is boy or girl. Actually, back in the day, I guess depending on the situation, it really does depend on it. Because like boys are definitely a lot more geared up for gaming. Nowadays, girls can just game whatever they like, right? If it's still these types of people with this mentality creating these characters, then that is where the problem lies. So what you're saying is white people bad. Yeah. You're just that. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Message. That's the
message. Straight white people bad. I'm playing. I am so playing. Wait, where's the where's this?
Sorry, I'm white. Sorry, I'm male. Sorry, I'm white.
Seriously, just my God. Especially if they do not consider all genders and body types to be sexy. Yes. 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 That's by definition they don't. White heterosexual men. Heterosexual men do not consider men sexy. By definition. That's just how it is. What do you expect?
Described.
That's just by definition they do not consider other men sexy, right? and white they can consider non-white to be sexy, absolutely, 100%. But heterosexual men, they don't consider other men sexy. That wouldn't be heterosexual. By definition, man. Oh my lord. What are you doing? And also body types. Not all body types are sexy. I'm just saying. I'm sorry to say this to you. I hate to break this to you.
And
Not
that's subjective, man.
It's very, very subjective.
That's subjective.
Not everyone likes all body types. There are people who like fat people. There are people who like skin people. There are people who like both. There are people who like just the middle, just perfect, okay body type, right?
There are people who don't care.
Yeah. Editor to $1, a request for a clip. Okay, I'm playing this.
A white woman!
Thank you so much for the donation. Keep them coming.
The way the woman in the left leans in was just fucking.
Oh, by the way, in case you do not know the context of that, right? The context of that is that it's essentially a case against R. Kelly. There's a big ass freaking court that is a case against R. Kelly, and this lawyer presents really sound arguments in why R. Kelly is guilty.
Well, you know.
Y'all know why, but the problem is the R. Kelly's lawyer said, well, the lawyer over here, the lawyer who goes against R. Kelly is a race traitor. Why? Because the lawyer married,
a white woman.
Horrible, absolutely horrible.
The lean in is so good.
Oh, man, where was I? Big boob shouldn't be seen as inherently sexual. Unfortunately, it is. It is.
And it's a fact.
They are.
Think about it.
They are. And a lot of men design female characters with a big chest with the clear intent of sexualizing them are two ideas that can coexist. I agree on principle. I agree on that, but there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with a lot of men design female characters with a big chest with a clear intent of sexualization. Nothing wrong with that. That one thing was like, if Momo had a flatter chest, no one would be bitching about her costume. That's not the point. Wait, this is My Hero Academia hoopla. Anyway.
Bruh.
Listen, I'm someone who is curvy, and I'm not saying female characters can't have sexy designs, but like, you guys do understand how, for example, these two characters were designed with very different underlying intent. No, they don't.
No.
These two characters are designed for horny. Both of them are. I'm playing this. Straight up. This is wrong. There's no underlying intention. The underlying intention is that these two characters are sexy and they have big boobs.
That's it.
Plain and simple.
That's it. It's that simple.
Bayonetta and Nier sure so poorly. Seriously, yeah, right? There's a huge difference between this character exudes confidence and is sexy because of who she is, and this character is made to be sexually appealing as a primary character trait. No, there's no difference. There's no difference at all. None whatsoever. Why? Because at the end of the day, they're both still sexy characters. You're both gonna fap to it. People are gonna fap to it. This is how it is at the end of the day. I don't understand why one has to be exclusive. Oh, because one has a fictional agency. Right? Because Bayonetta has an agency because she decides, she chose to be sexy. The other characters, she doesn't decide. She doesn't choose to be sexy.
Yeah, she doesn't, yeah. Who is she to decide?
First off, the game's not even out yet. So we don't even know why she specifically, Eve, or I don't know who the character is, she decides to dress that way. Maybe it's her choice. It could have been her choice.
Yeah.
For all we know. We don't know.
And that means that you're not pro-choice.
I mean,
you're against pro-choice.
I mean, she clearly wore this outfit and she didn't complain about it. Again,
maybe she did.
Maybe she did make that choice. Seriously.
No, maybe she did complain it. Maybe she did complain it in a way that's,
Maybe she did complain, but we haven't seen it because we haven't played the actual game. The game's not out yet. I wouldn't say
played the actual game.
Yeah. I wouldn't say offended, but we can do better, right? No. What do you mean do better? Define do better. Define better.
No.
Define better.
The problem is what you define as better is not better at anyone else's mind.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
If your definition of better is that we should not have any sexy female game characters, no, that's not better. That's worse.
That's not better.
That's awful. And we are unfortunately at that state where Western game developers are just afraid. They're just straight up afraid. They do not want to have any sexy female characters. I mean, don't you just miss back in the day? I'm just saying, man. Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. In case y'all In case you are, this is back when Ubisoft actually do good shit, right? Back when Ubisoft actually do good shit.
Have balls.
Yeah, back when Ubisoft actually have balls. I'm just saying, Prince of Persia: Warrior Within has 5 seconds. It's like 5-second scene. A 5-second scene of Shandy's freaking booty. Straight up. I'm just saying, this is back. No one's gonna make something like this anymore. No one. Not any game developers are gonna make something like that. Not especially Ubisoft, especially with all the scandals they got themselves into. Seriously. My girlfriend stated playing more when we started dating, and that's her #1 complaint. Over-sexualize the characters. My girlfriend does not complain about that. In fact, she likes to have characters that are more sexy.
Problem, man.
Seriously. Just because your girlfriend has one opinion does not mean that her opinion is the absolute truth.
That's, yeah.
My question would be, how do we define over-sexualize? Is it the form, the outfit? What if a female design what if a female designed a character? Right? That is true.
Yeah.
That is a good question. And you know what I say to that? I'm playing Voss. Why is it muted?
Philosophical point of fucking view. That's a subjective, philosophical point of fucking view.
Seriously. Would someone actually be able to fight this, or would a titty fall out? Or wait, would someone actually be able to fight in this, or would a titty fall out? So you're arguing about realism, in which case, throw it off the window, because none of these games are supposed to be realistic.
Why the fuck would you want to argue about realism in the video?
If you're gonna...
Except, if this is Escape from Tarkov, yes, I would probably argue about realism, because it's supposed to depict reality. Escape from Tarkov is supposed to be, you know, realistic. But this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief.
And if you're gonna complain about realism, why stop at the female character? This is a game. This is a game where she wears like this, and there's a freaking big ass freaking monster creatures destroying the world left and right. That's realistic, right? Are all the soft parts exposed to danger? Will she be forever picking a fong out of her labia? It's not rocket science. You're being deliberately obtuse. You're being deliberately obtuse.
No, you.
No, you. You're the one who's being deliberately obtuse here. Oh my lord. Ma'am, please. Seriously. Good point. Just show that. Just show that straight up. We already have people. We have men ready, freaking shirtless and everything like that. Fan service for everybody, right? That's a male power fantasy. Wrong. Wrong.
So male are allowed to have it?
So let me get this straight. Here's the thing, right? If men are shirtless and muscled, that's male power fantasy. If women are nearly shirtless and big boobs and everything like that, that's objectification. You cannot win with these people.
Like,
you can't win with these people. Right?
They're Jesus, man. Everything they say is in the Bible, man. Come on.
See? You cannot win with these people. Everything you say, it's insane. It is insane. You cannot win against these people. Even though there's like an entire freaking Kotaku article talking about shirtless Ryu. Just Kotaku being horny towards shirtless Ryu. There's an entire freaking article on it. I'm gonna play this on that one. Horny. Straight up, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I do want equality, right? You women's
if women can be horny with Ryu, we should be able to be horny with Project Eve.
Trade offer. Trade offer. I give you sexy men, you give me sexy women.
Women, there we go.
Seriously, trade offer.
Not a bad deal.
Not bad deal, right? Not a bad deal. But apparently, if the men enjoy sexy women, that's a problem. But if the women enjoy sexy men, no, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. Because it doesn't happen a lot in media. Yeah. Sexy men never happens in media. Sexy men being depicted as really hot and muscular, that never happens in media at all. That's not a recurring thing.
You can count. You should probably be able to count as on how many times men in like Hollywood just take off their shirts just for reason.
Like, yeah.
Come on.
So that, I mean, they're just
they take off their shirts for no fucking reason at all.
MCU is a good example of this. MCU has a lot. Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord, he took off his shirt at one point. He got bathed and everything like that, but he showed his muscles and abs and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
Is that not objectification of Chris Pratt?
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth, who played Thor, took off his shirt at one point. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Hey, I love myself some fan service too, but it needs to be equal. Ladies get the fan service, the men fan service, men get the ladies fan service. It's equal exchange, right? My lord. There's so much in this topic that people are missing. Okay. It's like the outfits of Nier were silly, but they were kind of whatever. Okay, that's your subjective philosophical point of fucking view, but
what do you mean by kind of whatever? Define kind of whatever.
Philosophical point of fucking view.
Right? Then I had to walk up a ladder and the camera locks you into her ass, and then I was pissed. You were pissed?
That's on you, bud.
Dude, that says a lot more about that says a lot more about you than it is about the game.
You're just pissed about women's ass. All right, I see you, buddy.
It seems fan service is becoming more important than gameplay. In Nier, fan service... In the context of Nier, you're wrong. In the context of Nier, you clearly have not played the game, right? You clearly have not played the game.
If that's the case, then every single time you gotta face an enemy, every single fucking time you gotta face an enemy, the camera locks onto your panty. That's when I can probably agree with your point, right? That's when I agree where fan service takes front in the gameplay. But in Nier, it doesn't.
And even so, there are also fan service for the boys in Nier. Straight up.
Exactly.
Oh my lord. That outfit on the main characters of an otherwise deeply emotional and cerebral game was, and I don't say this often, cringe. You are cringe.
Wait. Did you say that outfit on the main character?
To be.
Of an otherwise deeply emotional... Why don't you just say to be? That kind of says that you haven't even played the game.
Oh man, yeah, you clearly haven't played the game. The name's 2B.
Exactly, the name 2B. The name. Not only the name is 2B. Like it's already recognized as the protagonist or like one of the main characters.
It's 2 letters, man. It's 2 letters. It's one number and 1 letter. Straight up. Or if you want a full name, Yorha number 2 unit B or something along those lines. I forgot. Yorha unit 2 or number B? No, number 2 unit B. There we go. Absolutely strip the immersion out of the game in the name of panty shots like a cheap anime. I'm playing this.
That's on you, bud.
That's on you.
That's a subjective, philosophical point of fucking view.
If you cannot get into it because you find it super distracting to the point where it strips your immersion, that says a lot about you. That says a lot about you. Yeah. That says a lot about you than it is about the game.
That says that you are conscious of those things. That says that you are conscious of the fan service happening. Why are you conscious about it? Like if you're that impressed with the gameplay, that impressed with the story, you should be immersed to the point where you didn't even realize that there was fan service.
Yeah. I mean 2B's fan service and 9S's fan service, like they're nothing special. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I love Nier Automata. Nier Automata is amazing, but not even at like one point in the review where I mentioned her booty. Like I don't recall mentioning. Let me just check because it's not important.
Because that's not an integral part of it.
Yeah, it's not really that important. Maybe I mentioned. Yeah, maybe I mentioned it briefly, right? Maybe it's like, people
if you're
are like
reviewing Booty Simulator 2005, then yes, we should mention the booty.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Yeah, seriously. I searched for ass. But I only got class, so it's not even like a word, right? I searched for like, let's see, maybe butt? Horny, but no.
How about butt?
I never said butt in the review. Straight up.
There you go.
Seriously. Because that's not what I love about Nier Automata. The fan service is there. It's a nice bonus. But it's not the most important thing in the game. And if you make that to be an important thing, that says a lot more about you than it is about the game.
Yeah.
Gamers hate women so much, it's easier to delete a tweet about how much they hate women that's filled with responses for women, siphoning and agreeing than it is for gamers to confront the idea that their demographic has a critical mass of sexist trash in it. Maybe you should not provoke them with this level of misinformation. If you don't start the conversation, I mean, I'm just saying, if I start the conversation by saying SJWs are child molesters, and then a bunch of people, SJWs
how many
like,
SJWs are gonna just fucking come into your fucking tire? I'm like, no, we're not.
No, we're not child molesters.
You pour gasoline into fire, it's gonna spread into a bigger fire. Like, that's just fucking physics.
Oh Lord. Not hashtag not all gamers. Enough that it is a problem, man. Okay, so what's your solution? What's the solution?
Yeah.
What is your solution? If it's a problem, then what's your solution? What is your solution? Because I can tell you this for sure. Making women less sexy in video games, that's not the solution.
Is not it.
That's
it's
not
it, bro.
That is the wrong solution. That is, if that's your solution, that's wrong. Why? Because that does not change anything. You know what that changes? That only changes the fact that the women who are less anxiety, the women who feel insecure about their body types, feel less insecure. That's it. It doesn't change the attitude. It doesn't change the attitude of these people. These people are still going to be sexist towards women.
Because they already are.
The worst part is, we all know exactly what type of person I'm talking about. But the worst part is the secondary ones, the ones that don't think they're sexist, but absolutely hold and espouse the grossest shit. Make no mistake, rewarding it won't help. It's the same folks that say their problem with Black Lives Matter is the implication that white lives don't matter. And Black Lives Matter too would have been approved. It wouldn't. They'd find something else. They always do. Oh my lord. Nothing to do with anything. I'm just going to move on. Always constantly amazed at how much gamers hate women. Really just astounding. Yeah, if this is the tweet that you post to everybody, no wonder why people are hating you. You can't figure out why. But anyway. Okay, well, 2 things are really clear. 1, you're making things up. You have no experience anywhere ever. 2, you hate women. Wow, you just accuse people for hating women out of nowhere. Bye forever. Enjoy screaming sexist shit into the void some more. Okay, dude. Video game programming person.
Hey, chill.
Washed up caster, writer, broadcast producer. Ex probably some places used to like. Set fire to the past, bask in the glow. Wow, those are not red flags.
Not good credentials at all.
Gamers hate women so much, it's easier to ignore our cries for change in the industry, so they call us names. Easier to paint us as a villain than confront the issues in the industry that result in harassment. What do you mean paint you as villains? Who are the gamers painting the women as the villains? There are villains in the video game industry, yes, but women aren't one of them. Ain't one of them. Activision Blizzard, that's my villain. Ubisoft, that's my fucking villain right now.
Villain.
That's a fucking villain in the video game industry, straight up. Right? China, great villain in the video game industry.
Yeah, great villain. Big villain. Microtransactions.
Also, this
villain.
This is the same person who went into another girl who said, in my nearly 4 decades of gaming, I have never heard a man say he didn't want to play as a girl, not only in standalone games but even in MMOs. Many men specifically chose to play as a female. Yeah, this girl disagreed with this girl over here and said, girl, please stop chasing clout under my tweet. That's what you're doing, girl.